I'm going to jump now to sharing Notebook LM, right? And Notebook LM is one of my best friends forever. There is a free version. This is a Google technology. There is a free version of this that anyone can put. I believe the limitation is 50 resources in, which is a lot of resources. How we use it on a day-to-day is much more detailed in terms of the number of assets we put into it and the type of assets we put into it. And I'm just going to share an existing notebook that I have at the ready. This here is something that I used when creating some other analysis. And it is important to note, this is where I always have to say, it is important to note, you still need to have content knowledge in your field, because it is not without errors. You want to double check everything. And especially if you use searching for sources from inside this, as opposed to if you know a little bit more about the sources that you need for this component, it will get you old sources. So you want to be very specific about the age of sources that you'll put into something. It will get you sources that are behind paywalls that it then will not let you put into your own. And then there are just some things that, for example, we were doing things with chatbots earlier, and it was interpreting bot in 15 different ways. Now, this was like 9 months ago. Now, it would be so much better at it. It changes it that fast. So here, you literally just upload resources. You can add sources in a variety of ways. You can add them right from your workspace, which is super convenient. If you can't do it one of these other ways, you can always do copied text. You'll notice these supported file types. If you've been in Notebook LM before, you'll notice that it just keeps expanding to different file types, which is like super helpful. And there are actually new image capabilities that Google has recently released that are sort of remarkable. So I did this part in advance because it does take time to make the videos. So when you go in there and you ask for a video overview, I remember, like, what was it, 9 months ago, a year ago? I forget how long ago. When you asked it to create a video, it did not have this ability to prompt. So this is a mistake that I've made a million times. If you just click on the general, it won't give you the prompting thing, but you want to click over on the prompting. It'll give you the option to create an explainer video or a brief. So this is a fantastic way to do an overview of a bunch of research or to explain a specific component of it. And it has a bunch of different style options now. If you want to do retro print, it's fun, but you can direct them to what do you want the AI host to focus on, right? It's not always perfect. I have had a situation before where I asked for a male voice, it came out with a female voice, so certain things like that. But this is the fun part, is you can select all sources. It used to only be all sources. Or you can say, I actually want you to do this based on this single resource, right? I want you to give me a video overview of that single resource. And so it will spit one out. So literally, it says 1 minute ago, it wasn't 1 minute ago. But this morning, I asked it to create a video, and I asked it to do a really quick overview of the future of work. I'm not going to share with you the video right now, but you'll notice a 2-minute video. I asked it for the short overview, not the big one. It had a fantastic voiceover. It doesn't, again, it's not perfect. So if you want to have your, I'll take this back a little bit. It's really good at sharing like different images as it goes, and it does have those really fun styles. Again, I have had the situation where it has put data in that has been incorrect before. And so you just need to prompt it out of that, but it'll literally create like a whole video for you. And then if you don't like it, you can reprompt it. There's no limits on the number of videos you can ask it for. One of the things that is a lot of fun is the, so this is based on a different prompt that I gave it. And this is all about the corporate learning ecosystem, right? And so we have just a ton of resources in here, and it's creating all of these, like it's bringing up the statistics as it goes. It's getting so much better. If you all had tried this even 6 months ago, there would be a lot more spelling errors. There'd be like weird things that kind of looked like letters, but weren't letters. And that is why, again, you want to triple check everything. So how do you check stuff? And there, it also has, it'll have like interactive whiteboards that you can play with, which is a lot of fun. So if you have like core concepts, it'll help you make a map and sort of visualize how ideas interact with each other. And it's dynamic, and that's sort of cool too. One of the limitations is it's not actually great at sharing. So if you want to share across a team, you either have to be in the same institutional org, or you have to just be using like your Gmail version of it. And so I'm just going to switch really briefly back to our other presentation and just share one final thought, which is potentially the most critical thought here, which is you absolutely must do QA here. All right, so your quality control systems are going to be so important. You want to make sure you can actually ask AI to check itself. If you see something that's missing or something that looks weird, you can actually tell it, I think you're wrong here. The one consistent issue is AI always thinks you're brilliant. So if you need an ego boost, definitely talk to AI a lot that day, but it will always say, oh, you're absolutely right. Thank you for mentioning that. Or that's a very excellent point. Your point may actually not be excellent, but you need to ask it to double check things. You have to know enough about what you're doing that you know when to poke holes. Super duper important. Someone explained it to me like, think that you had the most productive, brilliant intern. That's what AI is, but they get it wrong sometimes. They don't always create what you want, and they don't always understand what you're saying. Also, citations, absolutely ask for citations. Words of the wise, just because it gives you a citation doesn't mean that citation actually exists. So always follow it back to the source, right? That is why things like Notebook LM and also Microsoft has a notebook. There's lots of different technologies that do that. Very helpful because you're creating your own knowledge base. You're trying to constrain it. And then the other thing is triangulate. So take that thing that was an output, put it in as an input to a different friend, AI friend of yours, and ask it to check it for accuracy. This will absolutely help make sure that it also saves you time, so you can ask it to do its own check first and then go back in and double check it. So overall, and we're almost at time, so thank you for sticking with us. We started today with some of the real basics, which is email, calendaring, file searching. So you want to start with those simple things. And then create your context libraries. What are the things that happen frequently that maybe you need to update relatively frequently, but they're repeatable? Use that context stacking. Then ask AI to help you figure out how to build a bot to do that thing repeatedly, right? And then finally, always double check, verify, make sure those things are right.